Again, secondary play by Marcus Ray. Come up and make that tackle. Dennis Riddle did look like it was going to break for a little bit more. Still 4 yards. Good carry.
One of the things that Michigan did in the first half, Mike, many times they made the Crimson Tide play with a second and long. This is the kind of offense you don't want to do that in.
No, it's key for Michigan on first down to hold Alabama and vice versa to get 4 yards, because you want the mix of run and pass on second and third down. You don't want to always be in long yardage situations where you have to throw the ball. Alabama is not a passing team.
Dadrian Taylor is being helped off the field, and he is favoring either his left arm or shoulder. And Tommy Hendricks has come in replacing him, so we'll get a report. Second down, not much there. They try to stretch it out, and Riddle goes down, and Irons is there with Sword to make the tackle. And let's go down to check with Kellen Winslow. Very timely.
All right, Ron and Mike, an honor here to have Gerald Irons, NFL great, who used to hold a lot when we played against each other. Of course, he is the father of Mr. Irons for Michigan. Tell me about his coming back for the 5th year.
Well, we're real happy for Jared to decide to come back, because he, of course, graduated last May and got his degree. But he wanted to always come back for a 5th year because he's had a great career here at Michigan, and he wanted to come back and finish up strong. And today he will.
How tough was it for him growing up in your shadow?
Well, it wasn't tough for him because we never put any pressure on him to do what I did. I told him simply to find something that he enjoyed doing, and I would help him whatever it was, and it just happened to be football. So we work out. I have the unique pleasure of playing and training with all of my kids. I work out with Grant, Jarrett, and my oldest son, Jerry. I work out with all of them. So I'm in a unique situation that I'm a father, that I am literally living my dream. When you and I were playing, they were little kids, and they used to come and watch us play. And someday I knew that they would also play in college, and also they'll ultimately play pro.
Okay, thank you. Ron and Mike, a very proud father with every reason to be.
Understandably so. And I'll tell you, there's a younger brother who's a senior who is 6'5", taller than Jarrett, but built the same way. So wonder if he'll wind up at Ann Arbor. Holding against Alabama was turned down, and they will kick it away. So Hayden Stockton standing back, and of course Woodson is the guy's kicking good. He just rides this one out of the park. Woodson all the way back to the 1-yard line, looking for a spot to run, and he'll be stopped at the 16. 60 yards on the kick, and it's going to be 15 on the return. So let's take a break. 6-3. Our score remains Michigan.
It's the perfect.
The Outback Bowl is brought to you by the car that makes waves, the new Eclipse from Mitsubishi, built for living, and by Thrifty Car Rental. Great cars in over 50 countries around the world. Best of all, it's thrifty.
Well, the wager in this highlight match was, how many spectators can we kill? I think the guys found out it's a little bit more difficult to do that than what it looks like.
Another one of the fun events that they have during bowl week here in Tampa for the Outback. Greasy counter play, got an opening, has 5, has 10, almost breaking it free is Chris Howard, all the way out to the 35-yard line. Andre Short tripped him up.
Ron, just before halftime, Michigan had the ball on the 2-yard line. Let's go back and look at what happened on that series, because they burned a timeout. They had 1 timeout left. They had 2nd and goal on the 2-yard line. I don't think this is such a bad move. Brian Greasy stops the clock. Now you have 3rd down, but he makes the timeout call there, which I think is a waste right there. But I think what happened was
wrong
Michigan.
Personnel.
No, I don't think so much wrong personnel. I think that they were trying to decide run or pass. And they couldn't make up their mind, so they took a timeout, settled for the play where they tried to throw it in the end zone and then kick the field goal. So I think that what they did is, Ron, that rather than be safe than sorry, they took the timeout. So, you know, they wasted their timeout down there, but wanted to get the field goal.
Chris Howard hit behind the line of scrimmage by Ralph Staten. We'll check and see how many individual tackles that Staten has. He has had a truly magnificent ball game. Just has been all over the place. A former free safety in high school, possesses some really good speed. Here they come with that safety blitz. Put up the fade route and incomplete. Collision, as you can see, Fernando Bryant colliding with Shaw, and he just cut off the lane and took it away from him.
Yeah, that's what you want a defensive back to do. Fernando Bryant just did exactly what he needed to do on that play. But now here, Ron, is where Michigan has had loads of problems in this football game. Third down has been a big blitz down for Alabama. Now Alabama's looking for this turnover.
Chris Floyd.
See if they come after him again.
Greasy short drop. Getting pressured by Hood. Gets it away, and it's caught. That's Knight. And Knight knocked out of bounds. What a grab. Cedric Samuel makes the tackle on him, but the freshman, what a huge one.
Yeah, Michael Myers explodes on the snap of the ball, and he gets right in the face of Brian Greasy. 96, Michael Myers explodes in the football, and he forces Brian Greasy now to move. And Brian Greasy's a pretty good athlete. Looks for Marcus Knight, finds him. Another good play by Brian Greasy.
Good for 24 yards, and it's first down, Michigan. Early going to the third quarter. If you've just joined us, 6-3. The Michigan Wolverines on top. But a battle of field goal kickers and defenses so far. They go with the fullback, and this is Floyd. And he'll take it to the 41. Paul Pickett and Dwayne Rudd combining in the stop.
Rod Payne again, the center of that offensive line for Michigan. William Carr, the nose guard, who practices against him every day in practice, says he's the best I've faced. And Jared Irons said there isn't a game that he doesn't give his all. So Rod Payne's a big leader for this Michigan offense.
Charles Woodson checks into the lineup, number 2. Howard in motion, empty backfield, pressure is on, and they throw the screen, and that's actually a lateral, and he throws back to Greasy, and he falls down. Good heavens, at the 37-yard line. And folks, there was a wall that you could have used in Berlin out there. I mean, he could have walked into the end zone.
There's only one player from Alabama could have stopped that play, and Kelvin Moore, and he'd have had to get through 5 Michigan blockers. This play was designed perfect. It's going to be a quick pass out here to Charles Woodson. Then Brian Greasy's going to come out to the right side. The offensive linemen are going to leave Alabama alone. Come in. Now look at this blocker. Stop it right here if we could. Look at here. One player from Alabama that can make that play.
So it's third down. Third down and about 4. You see Alabama tight at the line of scrimmage. Here they come with another blitz. Great protection, and now it breaks down, and it's Paul Pickett who will get him the second time officially that the Michigan quarterback has been sacked today.
Well, Chris Floyd, the fullback, is blocking on Paul Pickett. He just didn't stay with him long enough. They had that designed to block perfect, but Chris Floyd left go of the block too soon. Paul Pickett made the tackle.
Paul Peristeris will come on to punt it away. Again, Alabama comes up with a big defensive stop when they need it. Goss signals for the fair catch at the 1-yard line. What in the world is he thinking? I've never seen a fair catch that deep.
Well, you have a rule, a 10-yard rule. You put your foot at the 10-yard and you don't get away from it.
Got a big foot.
Each year, the average American works 50.5 hours a week, puts in 336 hours of carpool, spends 182 hours doing yard work, and walks the family pet 730 times. If you're going to work that hard, shouldn't your vacation? Call about our $104 St. Petersburg Clearwater Busch Gardens vacation package at 1-800-345-6710 and let your money work hard, too.
Yeah, the firm loves me. You should see the car I'm driving.
Introducing the all-new Mitsubishi Diamante, a remarkably well-crafted luxury sedan with the power of the largest V6 in its class.
Yeah, it's quieter in here than my office. Hello?
Billy, hurry back. Mr. Dean.
Buzzing about the fair catch.
Yeah, Ron, you always tell your punt receivers to line up on the 10-yard line, put your feet on the 10, and don't back up. Well, you see, Chad Goss is inside the 5-yard line. He lost track of where he was, and then Gene Stallings giving him a little bit of an earful.
The only thing that you can figure in the youngster's defense, we talked about what a bright sky it is. He was so concentrating on the sun and making the catch, he totally lost track of where he was.
But that's why you put your feet on those 10-yard line, and you fair catch and get away from the ball. And if it's over your head, you figure it's going to go in the end zone. This is big now for Alabama. Michigan's defense is going to turn the heat up right here on Freddie Kitchens. Look for the turnover, trying to force the turnover. Alabama's got to get this ball out of here.
John Causey out over the football. It is a second down at about 8. Kitchens going to go long. Looking for Vaughn, and it's overthrown at the 45. Charles Woodson had him step for step.
Yeah, that's a good play call, because what you're trying to do is throw the ball down the field. If it is picked off, it's like a punt. But working Michael Vaughn against the best defensive back at Michigan, number 2, Charles Woodson. Good protection, just couldn't get him the football.
Well, I think it's imperative right now that Alabama pick up some decent yardage, or they're not even going to have a full 15-yard drop on this punt.
Yeah, they've had problems on third down, Ron. They have them just like Michigan. The defenses have owned third down.
1 of 6 today. Kitchens gets it. He's got him, and Marcel West dropped the football. Good heavens. That could have been a 98-yard touchdown.
Ball thrown well, but what happened to Marcel West is he got turned around. He lost track of the ball, lost track of where he was at on the field. Working against Charles Woodson, but watch him get turned around. Now he runs a corner route, but he tried to stop there. Now his head's on a swivel, and he just couldn't find the football when he looked back to the left side.
That would have been an interesting foot race. Now, let's concentrate on Hayden Stockton. He cannot take a step back. He's only got a 12-yard drop here. If he does, it's a safety.
Look for Michigan to return this football.
Ball is not going to turn over, but he kicks it away from Woodson, and that probably is as good as you can do. It goes out of bounds, and let's check in with Kellen Winslow. Kellen?
All right, Ron and Mike, we have the sponsors here of the Outback Bowl, the principals of Outback, the firm of Sullivan, Basham, and Cannon back there in the background. Our speaker, Chris Sullivan. Chris, tell us about Outback's involvement in this bowl game.
Well, we had the opportunity to take the title sponsorship 2 years ago, and the community has just done a great job of promoting this game. The Tampa Bay community is a great place for business, and we've just had tremendous success here. And we want to thank all our people at Outback. They've really made this possible around the country, and it's a terrific opportunity for our company to get exposure and talk to people about Outback everywhere, from California to Florida to New York. And we've been really impressed with this kind of a day, and the game's terrific. And we're just looking forward to more and more of this kind of success as years move forward with this bowl game.
All right, Chris, thanks a lot. Thank you, guys. We know we're having dinner tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, Michigan slowly but surely is figuring out the blitz and finding plays that will work. That's Russell Shaw, good for 14 yards on that one there, and a nice job by Greasy to get out of harm's way.
Misdirection plays again. Brian Greasy's good on his feet. He's able to roll away from the pressure and find Shaw down the field. But now Mike DuBose needs his defense to step up here and shut the door on Michigan's offense.
6-3, Michigan leads. Straight ahead, Williams, and Clarence is going to have 3 on the play. Steve Harris, a sophomore out of Town Creek, and Kevin Jackson combining on the stop. Kevin, 7 interceptions, leading the SEC this year, and first team All-American on many teams.
And Ron, when you talk about 7 interceptions, he's also one of the top 4 tacklers out of that safety position. Alabama uses a scheme where they're going to get the safeties up involved in the run.
Second down, counter play. They hit it in the backfield, and there's not much there. Ralph Staten again, and how many times have we called his name today?
It's going to come down to this now, Ron, on third down. Blitz by Alabama. You can guarantee there's going to be a blitz here, and how Michigan handles it to put themselves in another field goal situation, or whether they can get this first down. But they're going to face the speed and quickness of a blitz here.
Well, let's see. You know, Ty Streets has only caught 1 ball today. Here they try to find him. There's the pressure, and he knocks the ball loose, and Greasy does the only thing he can do, and that is fall on it to keep Alabama from capturing it, and it's Michael Myers who just messed up everything.
Well, the Michigan coaches talked about Michael Myers, the respect they had for him. He explodes again, 96 off the speed of the rush, and then also Ralph Staten's coming from the outside. They're very fortunate, Michigan, to get that ball back, but knocked out of field goal range again. Defense for Alabama stepped up big.
Mike, are you surprised there's a new return guy in for Alabama?
No. No, but he's going to find the 10-yard line.
Sigler, and I'll tell you what, Mike is right. His feet are anchored at that 10. Signals for the fair catch and makes it at the 9. So let's take a timeout as you look at Michael Myers and the Alabama defense. They trail by 3. Blimp, known to be one of the fastest blimps flying, has been clocked at speeds exceeding 70 miles an hour. We look forward to seeing the blockbuster blimp at future events here on ESPN. Captain Terry Dillard piloting that one today, and he's got some great looks. New quarterback in the ball game for the Alabama Crimson Tide as Riddle takes the ball and comes out close to a 10-yard gain.
And the new scheme bringing in Warren Faust into the ball game, a little bit more of a running quarterback, a little bit more of an option game, and that's the benefit of a long period of time preparing for a bowl. You can do a lot of things offensively you can't do during a week's time of preparation during the regular season. And the Michigan defense will say, welcome to the ball game. David Bowens, number 6, with a good hit.
Mike, I'll tell you who's slow, and now he has come off the field. William Carr was shaken up on that play. He stayed on the ground for a bit, wanted to go back to the huddle, and they coaxed him from the sideline to come over and take a break for a minute. It's Riddle in motion, top of the screen, and it's quarterback draw. And boy, Mr. Godfrey, you are exactly right. They've had a quarterback who was doing the two-step, and now they got somebody who's doing a jitterbug, so they're going to have to change some things defensively.
Well, I think Gene was funny the other day when we talked to him about quarterbacks. He said, you know, I go to practice every day. I watch practice. These fans all, you want the other quarterback in, but so I watch practice every day, so I know who the best quarterback is. But there is a time in the ball game when you insert a relief pitcher, and hopefully they can ignite your offense. Now, they tried that against Mississippi State. Of course, Mississippi State held on and beat the Alabama team.
Warren Faust, sophomore out of Midwest City, Oklahoma. And, of course, that is a suburb of Oklahoma City. Keeps this one, and he'll pick up the first down. He lost the ball, made it exciting at the last minute, made his own recovery at the 34. Mentioning Gene as you did, I think a funny story about him is a young kicker that just kicked the fire out of the ball, and every time Gene came around, the kid would shank it and kick it in the wrong direction. So he went over and asked him one day, said, son, you get nervous sometimes. He said, Coach, I can't kick when you're around. You make me nervous. And Gene grabbed him to the jersey and said, you do know I'll be at every game on Saturday, don't you?
And on the sidelines looking at you.
First down, Alabama. They trail it 6-3. Just under 4 minutes to play, third quarter. Faust rolls the ball out, turns the corner, has 5, has 10 yards, and who does he get belted out of bounds? Charles Woodson. Well, following this game, stay with ESPN for the championship game of the Puerto Rico Classic, live for the American University. It is Southwest Missouri State against number 6 Cincinnati. That's following this game right here on ESPN.
Ron, you appreciate the job that Alabama did on defense when the ball spotted right now on the 45-yard line. We'll move it 2 yards forward, and that's where Michigan took it over on the 47-yard line in Alabama territory and came away with no points. So that's the job of the great defense.
Michigan gathers up tight. They're looking for the run, and they got it. This is Riddle. Tries to bounce it outside, and a nice tackle by Woodson. If he doesn't get him, there's big yardage. And let's check in with Carl Ravitch for an update on Tennessee.
Hi, Ron. Northwestern and Tennessee at the Citrus Bowl, and Peyton Manning, what may be his last game at quarterback in Tennessee. He looks left, pump fakes, and then goes over the middle. And behind the defense is Peerless Price. 43 yards, and Tennessee's on top 7-0, Ron.
Boy, the kid is so much fun to watch. He is just pure when he throws it, doesn't he, Mike?
Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back in college football next year.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right. Second down and 5. The ball just shy of midfield. Faust Looking, still looking. He's going to run it. And he'll pick up a couple. He was tempted. Calvin Hall was almost open, but the defensive back from Michigan was just playing off the ball, trying to bait him.
Yeah, and what's happened to Michigan now is they have to change their game plan on defense, because all of a sudden you have a quarterback like Freddie Kitchens, who's a passing quarterback in a running game that's not going to run a lot, and all of a sudden you got Warren Faust into the game. The offense has changed. Now Jim Herman, the defense coordinator, has to make his change.
See this right here, Mike? This, to me, all these people with their hands on their knees, I think this guy is the one that's taking body shots. I think he will take it out of the Michigan defense if they continue to have success doing what they're doing.
Well, that's not a good sign when your head's down.
Here's the option to pitch. Riddle has 5, has 10. He's loose. Down to the 30-yard line. It is 1st and 10, Alabama. Marcel West, one of the wide receivers, and Michael Vaughn with really good blocks.
Yeah, it's a different style of game now for Michigan. 81, Glenn Steele's coming to the sidelines. You're right, he's tired. But it's a different style of game now. All of a sudden, you have to defend the quarterback on the option. Obviously, Alabama has practiced a lot on the option in the bowl week preparation, and a good cut by Dennis Riddle. This has been their most impressive drive of this day.
Riddle 61 yards now on 11 attempts. They go back to the open side. There's the pitch. Riddle, nice job defensively. That is David Bowens, who stayed home on the wide side of the field, and he'll tackle him for a 5-yard loss.
Well, Jim Herman, the defensive coordinator, knows David Bowens very well because he recruited him out of Orchard Lake St. Mary's High School. And the first day you can call a recruit, the night you can call it, once midnight, he made the call to David Bowens at 12:01. Ron, at 12:03, he called Charles Woodson. It's not too bad of phone calls. You got two pretty good players.
I started to say that 5 of the best minutes in Michigan football history.
I think I'd have used 2 phones and called them both at 12:01.
5-yard loss on the play. It is 2nd down and 15. They need to take it to the 20. It's Vaughn in motion. They pitch it back to him, and now here comes the reverse. Marcel West. West back into the middle, loses the football, and Michigan has recovered at the 30. William Carr came up with the football.
They talked about, I want to gain some respect today. Marcel West, number 1. Charles Woodson stayed home. Number 29, Marcus Ray, stayed home also.
He caused the fumble. It was Marcus Ray with the solid hit that caused the football to come loose. And what had appeared to be the best Alabama drive since back in the first quarter goes awry.
And that's big, Ron, because now Michigan can get their defense over the sideline and make some adjustments right now. I'm talking to them.
Tracy gives to Clarence Williams, breaks out of the pile, and he's loose. 50, 45, at the 40, and going to be tackled from behind by Fagan. That is good for 29 yards.
A beautiful job in the secondary by Michael Fagan, because you tell a defensive back when you're strung out like that, you know, he's up here in the corner now. He's going to be pushed down the field as a receiver. Now, Clarence Williams is going to get that football. He's going to break through. Now, you look for Michael Fagan just to buy time. Do not let him get outside of you. Force him back to the inside, and he did that. Saved a touchdown.
This could be the last play of the 3rd quarter. Counter play, and he can't get out of that one. It'll be good for 1 as Kelvin Moore is down at the bottom of the stack, and that will be the end of the 3rd quarter. So as we head to the final 15, it'll be the final quarter for this gentleman right here, and his team is down by 3, trying to solve some of the problems. We'll be right back. It is really getting warm. Mike Elston, number 5, standing near the junior out of St. Mary's, Ohio. And the fan going over on the Alabama side as well. But as we stated earlier, it is much better considering what we had last year.
We had Noah's Ark last year at this time. Get out of here.
So we start the 4th quarter. Michigan at the 39. Williams breaks off the tackle, going to wind up picking up about 5 yards in the play. Staten pushed him out. Kelvin Moore ran into him but didn't lock him up.
Ron, this is great defense, though. You've got to give credit to Alabama's defense. They're continually being put on the wrong side of the 50-yard line by their offense and mistakes, and they continually come up with big plays. Mike DeBose, the new head coach, is just trying to make plays to keep his ball club in it. Third down, I'd expect the blitz again on Michigan to see how Michigan handles it.
Third down, and the line to make is the 29.5-yard line. Michigan leads at 6-3.
Here they come.
Shaw in motion. There's the pressure. Look in, and here's a flag. Ralph Staten was just all over Greasy.
Well, a big mistake there, trying to time up the count of Brian Greasy, and this time offside. Look at all of them up at the line of scrimmage. Never a chance for Brian Greasy. Ralph Staten, number 41. But now they're in a situation where they got a chance for the run here on short yardage.
So the 5-yard stepped off, and it is about a half-yard short of the first down. 88, Mark Campbell comes in from the bench, bringing the play, as well as 85, Marcus Knight.
The way Michael Myers is roaring up the field, you figure they're going to probably run away from his side.
Straight ahead, quarterback sneak, and he has it. Kellen Winslow, let's check with you.
Well, Ron, I'm down here on the sideline with a young man I used to watch play when No. He's a lot younger than I am. Eric Curry, All-American at Alabama, member of the national championship team. Eric, tell us about your memories of Coach Stallings.
Well, Coach Stallings was definitely a man of, he was the person, a father image. Everybody seemed to love him, and everybody seemed to corral around him, and it was more or less like a big brother to everyone, and, he's definitely been a great success and great asset to Alabama, and I have all congratulations to him and the career he's had here. And like I said, you see most of the guys here, and everybody seemed to, enjoy being around him and just love the type of atmosphere. So it's definitely a great thing for him.
Now, when you came to Alabama, he preached defense and defense. Was that one of the reasons why you came to play for a man like Gene Stallings?
Well, first it was Curry. It was Curry who I first came to play with, but Stallings preached. He was more or less like a hands-on coach.
Right.
He could more or less come around. He would, have a little say-so about the offense, say-so about defense. But his main priority was to make sure that everybody play defense, because defense wins. If you can't get your offense on the field, you can't score no points. Right. So
thanks a lot, Eric. We appreciate it. Good luck to you in the NFL.
And tell everybody Happy New Year, too.
I sure will.
All right.
Michael Myers comes across and makes contact. Now let's see if a Michigan player moved first or if it is going to be another 5-yard penalty against Alabama.
Prior to the snap, contact by the defense, offside, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Well, that's 2 on this series. That is really big, Mike. 2 first down. Well, the other one led to a first down because he only had a half a yard, and now they give him one. Straight ahead, they give it to Floyd. Breaks it out of the tackle, down inside the 10, and he's to the 7-yard line. Carl Ravitch, let's check with you again.
All right, Ron, Peyton Manning did it all with the arm this season, but he also ran the ball in the end zone 3 times. Here, the naked bootleg. He has the ball. He's in. It's 14-zip Northwestern with the ball, and Darnell Autry under the weather today, Ron.
All righty. Well, Peyton Manning off and running, so to speak. Our situation here, 6-3, and they have a first down or a second down. They only need about 2 inside the 10. Running play, hit in the backfield. Chris Hood comes free, and he'll knock him down for about a 4, maybe a 5-yard loss.
Well, they needed that kind of play out of the Alabama defense because Michigan getting close in this situation. They want to hold him to a field goal attempt here. No one blocked Chris Hood on an inside move, made the tackle on Chris Howard. And Ron, Michigan's offense, they figure they can control the game here in the 4th quarter with their big offensive line. They ran the same play against Ohio State 11 times in the 4th quarter, so they depend on wearing down the defense.
Third down. They need to take it to the 5-yard line to pick up the first. That's Campbell in motion. Gracie hit, and the ball is intercepted by Rudd. And Rudd may score. There are no flags on the field. We'll count it off. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Dwayne Rudd.
And what did Eric Curry say on the sidelines? Defense wins. That's what they preach at Alabama. They look for a mistake, and they got it. And again, the Alabama defense comes up big with the turnover that they get for 6 points.
And it's interesting that Coach Carr said yesterday, as we walked across the field toward his locker room, he said, I know Staten is fast. In fact, I think he's faster. But he said, Rudd, to me, is as good a linebacker as I've ever tried to coach against or prepare for. Brock with the extra point attempt, and he's good. 12-13 left in the ball game, and our new score is Alabama 10 and Michigan 6. Let's take a break.
I was looking for an onion.
The Outback Bowl is presented by Outback Steakhouse, home of the world-famous Bloomin' Onion. Outback Steakhouse, no rules, just right. And in part by DuPont, better things for better living. Mike, let's take another look at it. It is the longest interception return for a touchdown in Alabama's long storied bowl history. We'll look at it after the kick.
And Ron, Michigan has not handled pressure very well again today, and that was the key difference.
William Watts with the kick. 5 yards deep, and nope, not going to bring it out. Tyrone Butterfield.
Well, here's the pressure on the outside. Kelvin Ziegler, number 20, is going to come from the outside. There's no one to pick him up. Now he makes the hit. Brian Greasy just shouldn't have thrown the football. Now tries to throw the football, puts it up for grabs. Wayne Rudd, who's blocking and tangled with his cohort on the other side, breaks through, and Gene Stallings very happy on the sideline. But still 12-13 on this clock.
Oh, yeah. We had lots and lots of football.
But it's been a defensive game.
It really has. And we were talking during the break. I'm not so sure that wasn't a 14-point swing. I felt as though Michigan had found enough little keys that they were going to push that in for a touch.
Well, it could be a backbreaker. We're going to see how Michigan really reacts to it right here on this series.
Good point. Here comes the safety blitz this time. Pass in the flat. They got it complete to Shaw. And he will be pushed out of bounds just short of the 30-yard line. That's Deshae Townsend who pushed him out.
You know, it's a good sign for the quarterback. Come back, let him throw right away. Brian Greasy's a veteran. He's been around for a while. May or may not take his 5th year. I think a lot depends probably how this ball game goes, but I think he's played very well. He made one mistake there, but played very well. Freddie Kitchens on the other side made one mistake, and it resulted in 3 points for Alabama, but the switch to Warren Faust has really generated Alabama's offense.
Second and short, and Greasy will take it straight ahead. Well, when you look at Alabama's defense under Stallings in the 90s, not even anything as far down as 3rd place as far as the SEC, the 1st or 2nd every year. And I remember we laughed earlier this year about Gene finally got fed up with everybody telling him that his offense was so ugly, and he said, if you want me to be pretty and lose, then you got the wrong guy coaching at this school.
Yeah, I think defense wins and running the football. Those are the 2 categories that go side by side.
Gracie gonna go long. Foot race down the sideline, and Shaw can't get there. That's Fernando Bryant who is covering him.
Ron, you look for seniors now to take over. There's 11:42 to go on the clock, and a lot of key seniors on both sides of the field, but the offensive line has 3. Thomas Wangs, Damon Denson, and, of course, the great center, Rod Payne. So they were having some success running the ball the last series against Alabama. Let's see if they go back and try to get Chris Floyd back to football.
See Alabama shifting back and forth with the stems just before the ball is snapped. That out in the flat, complete. And again, it's the freshman Knight, hit immediately by Michael Fagan. And it's going to be a 3rd down Michigan at about 6 to get this first down.
And Fagan has really come up big. Now, he was the defensive back that was able to keep that long run of Clarence Williams from going for the touchdown. And then a good sure tackle on this last play, just allowing a 5-yard completion.
Lloyd Carr pacing, knowing that that clock is going to really start getting quick now. They need this first down right here. You can see the movement on both sides. I'm not so sure that Alabama may be fortunate that this play got stopped. Mike, they were confused on who was going to cover on the outside. There was almost nobody out on Clarence Williams because he had taken him out of the backfield and split him out left.
A lot of shifting going on by Michigan.
Prior to the snap, defense in the neutral zone, offside, offense move, 5-yard penalty.
Gene figures he's going to get 11 minutes to go to yell at these guys in the striped shirts. He's going to take every advantage. He's been yelling at him his whole career. He's got 11 minutes to go.
Third down and short, and again the quarterback sneak, and they will pick up the first down. Clock now about to go under 11 minutes left in this 1997 version of the Outback Bowl.
Think about Gene Stallings and Lloyd Carr, what's going through their mind. Of course, Gene Stallings won the most important game for him, his last game versus Auburn, and won in the same kind of fashion. Trailed and took a drive to the length of the field, and Freddie Kitchens came through for him. Today, defense.
Shaw in motion, the running play, Clarence Williams, and he's behind those big blocking backs there. He'll take it for a couple, but Pickett and Hood will make the tackle. Well, what a better way to get yourself ready for the Sugar Bowl than seeing the first game again. ESPN2 is going to bring you an encore presentation of then #1 Florida and #2 Florida State from November the 30th. See a repeat of the game of the year, the tussle in Tallahassee, tomorrow 3 o'clock on ESPN2, and then tune into ABC at 8 o'clock for the Battle of the Bayou, the rematch, #1 Florida State against #3 Florida. Gracie has it complete and is going to be pushed back. Mike, let me ask you something. Were they going to run a hook and ladder?
No, I don't think so. I think it went right through the hands of Aaron Shea, number 36. They were trying to go to him, and it just went right through his hands. Aaron Shea. And then Ty Streets, with good concentration, makes the catch, and you need a little luck every now and then.
So the ball is placed down at the 46-yard line. You were talking about how big that game was for Gene Stallings to win, though, but the same at Ann Arbor up in the Big Ten Conference for Michigan to have the Buckeyes number again. And they were down and had to come from behind in that game. Clarence Williams bounces it outside. You can see the pursuit by Fagan, and he just stiff arms him down and has the first down. Kevin Jackson bumped him out of bounds, but it's a first down.
They've had more success in this quarter running the football than they have the entire ball game, and you got to figure that offensive line starting to weigh on this Alabama defense a little bit. But you still need good mix against this Alabama defense. You're not going to take the ball and run it right down the field, and you're not going to throw it. You need good mix in this case because this is a solid defensive unit.
This has been quite a 1-2 punch for Michigan this year. Chris Howard and then Clarence Williams. You can see the numbers on Williams. Pressure up the middle. The ball almost intercepted. Stepping in front was Bryant.
Whew. Everything's short, Ron, because they're afraid of the blitz, and they don't want to set Brian Greasy back there 5-7 yards deep. So everything's on 3 steps. Ty Streets, the intended receiver, Fernando Bryant breaking on the ball. He knows it's going to be a short passing game now. Gets a good break on the ball.
Actually, Streets played a little bit of defensive back there. That could have been a pickoff. Second down and 10. 10-3. Alabama leads. 9:27 left in our ball game. Running play 3 yards to the 30. And it's Michael Myers who's down at the bottom of that stack. And Clarence Williams getting up. Clarence only a sophomore. We'll see him for another couple of years up in Ann Arbor. 5'9", 195. Sophomore out of Detroit. Had 779 yards. Catches the ball well. And then Howard comes in. Howard had almost 700 yards himself.
Ron, it's interesting right here. You have to figure out whether you're in 4-down territory right here from Michigan, whether you're going to take the field goal if you don't get the first down. A lot of decisions for Lloyd Carr.
Gracie Setch looking long for the end zone, and just beyond the hands of Marcus Knight. Deshae Townsend was trying to cover him. Gracie looks to the sideline, and we see movement by 19 Hamilton, and they will go for the field goal.
Just ran out of room right here. Brian Griese may have may have waited just a little bit too long to leave this ball go. Marcus Knight, being shadowed by Deshae Townsend, number 2, just ran out of room and a little bit too far.
48-yard attempt, Mike. Griese to Holder. Now, they had a fake earlier, but I don't think the situation would avail itself here that they would call that. Down. Don't know if he's got the distance. Nope. Short and to the right. And again for Alabama, defense, defense, and more defense.
The Outback.
Crimson Tide leading, and of course this man right here, after this afternoon, once about 8:41 ticks off the clock officially, will be the new head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide. And you look at his pedigree, played for the Bears, 72 through 74, then defensive line coach, 2 different stints, defensive coordinator this season.
His goal always as a player was to play at Alabama, and his goal as a coach was to be the head coach, and he's made both his goals.
So here comes the Crimson Tide, and Freddie Kitchens is back in the ballgame. Warren Faust did his job. Dennis Riddle being corralled. He'll turn it upfield, and you can see on the outside, Marcus Ray not only made the hit, she's grabbing for the football as Michigan knows they got to take it away.
Freddie Kitchens back in the ball game. I'm sure Gene Stallings wants the veteran back in. Now Warren Faust came off the bench. He was the relief pitcher. He got the Michigan team out in the 7th, and this is Little League Baseball where you can bring the quarterback back in. Now Warren Faust coming back in to try to put a little bit more pressure on this Michigan defense.
Well, tell you what, this, if it were baseball, be heck on a scorekeeper, wouldn't it? There's Faust, option play, pitches back to Riddle, has 5, has 10, has 15, and it's an Alabama first down out across the 47, and again, an Alabama wide receiver, this time Vaughn with a great block. But let's check a marker back at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, Gene's going to get to yell some more here.
Look at it. Oh, ho, ho.
See, he doesn't have to save his voice anymore. He needs to let it all go. And the poor guy on the sideline that you get on the side, he hears it all.
He hears it all, and the umpire, the guy who's in the middle of the field, is the one who called it.
He doesn't even look over there.
I tell you, if Gene comes out any further, they're going to have to give him a helmet. He's on the field.
This guy's going to have an earache tonight, the official.
Quarterback draw. Steele will wrap him up from behind. Like, this is a big sequence right here.
Well, it really is, because that Ben Huff made that play to start with, and they forced it back into Glenn Steele. But you're right, still a lot of time, 7:34 on the clock, and Michigan now is looking for the turnover in 3rd and long, but I'm not sure. Here comes Freddie Kitchens back in now. The option's going now. You have the pass or the running play now, so Michigan has to adjust to Freddie Kitchens being back on the field.
Meanwhile, the clock runs. We're about to go under 7 minutes to play in this ball game. Alabama up by 4. Kitchens from the shotgun gets his pass away and almost intercepted as it was batted by Tommy Hendricks. Wow.
Well, they got away with one there. Tommy Hendricks, a safety, number 41. Ball was thrown into his hands, and now it's going to be back to the Alabama defense again, their kicking game. That's what's got him, Hero.
Boy, this Michigan defense They had played so well all year long, and he almost came up with their extra base hit right there.
And you talk about key performer Hayden Stockton. Now, just what you talked about earlier, he did at LSU. He needs a big punt here to Woodson.
I'd kick it away from Woodson.
I would too.
Averaging almost 25 yards a return. This is returnable. Woodson at the 27. Finally winds up at about 4 yards on the return. It is a 46-yard punt. 4 on the return, and Steve Stanley got downfield to make the tackle.
Well, Michigan made a choice there to go after the punt, and when you rush the punt, you don't have a return on. Charles Woodson has to get everything he can get on his own.
Holding called against Michigan. So this will be stepped off back inside the 30. Well, according to his players who wasn't on the field, that Coach Stallings will be most remembered to them.
The impact he has on your life, not as just a player, but as a person as well. And there's just several things that he's instilled in us as far as a work ethic and just being a good person on and off the field.
He's a good example of the type of person you're supposed to be off the field. Does a lot of charity work for the people around town, and he's just a great influence on a lot of people's lives.
So Coach Stallings got a penalty in his favor that time.
Well, that's why you yell at the officials. You're hoping to pick one up.
Gracie sets in the pocket. Great protection. Got a man open. Juggles the ball, and it came down with it. Shaw had it, lost it, and had it again.
What a catch.
Fagan was just all over it. Close as you can cover without having interference. Nicely thrown.
One of the few junior college players at the University of Michigan, Russell Shaw. Coaches say he's always open. He's a great route runner. He made 2 catches on that play against Michael Fegan.
Yeah, he did. In fact, the official stats should give him 2. 18 yards in the pass play. You see the safety creeping up into your picture. They pick him up right over the middle. He's got Shaw. And if he breaks away, he's going to score. And it's Bryant holding on for dear life. So again, Michigan moving the football between the 20s, but then they get down there and start to bog down.
Well, here's why they're moving the football now. The 2 tight ends, there's 2 tight ends now. So now what you're going to have is 2-man routes on the outside with a lot of protection in here for Brian Gracie. They can't get to him, and they blitz. Fernando Bryant has to run with Russell Shaw. So now give that credit to Michigan because they had the right play on for the right defense.
24 yards on 26 rather, 18 on the one before. On first down, they from the counter, then the reverse to Shaw. Gets a block to get to the outside, and Staten stays at home and makes the tackle. He has been the key guy so many times today.
It's tough to counter a team like Alabama that runs so well with the little reverse here. Ralph Staten stayed at home. He was blocked early, but then he got off.
Kellen, let's check with you quickly.
Round on that last change of possession, Coach DeBose pulled over his Alabama defense, and he talked about especially getting pressure up the middle on the pass rush, something they have not done on this last drive, giving Gracie time to find his receiver downfield.
Well, we've just gone under 5.5 minutes left in our ball game. Michigan, Clarence Williams hit in the backfield. Myers is there first, and then Rudd, who had the 88-yard interception return for the touchdown.
No, there's no doubt Michael Myers has controlled the line of scrimmage today for Alabama. 96 just explodes again, comes up. He beats the block of Thomas Wines, number 75, just not able to reach into Michael Myers. And Ron, here's where Michigan doesn't want to make a mistake, though, on 3rd down. If you're going to throw it down the field because you still have your 3 timeouts left, and you can still punt Alabama in and play for this last drive.
The last play is the 11th time that Alabama's defense has thrown Michigan for a negative yardage play. And Gracie wants a timeout. So let's take it with him. 4:38 left in the ball game. 10-6 Alabama. Struggle. Neither offense has scored a touchdown. Rudd, 88 yards on an interception return, the linebacker for Alabama. And everything else has been field goals.
Ron, it comes down to right now whether your receivers are better than their defensive backs.
Third down. They need to take the ball to the 22.5. Alabama stays at home. They're going to try to get it done with the front four, and the ball is overthrown. Clarence Williams. Clarence is upset because he was open. The ball just eased over his head.
Still not a bad play. Now, fourth down, you're going to punt Alabama down. Hopefully your punter will be able to get him inside the 10. Still have 2 timeouts left to go.
I was talking with the coaches yesterday, and they were saying that it is amazing how good Greasy is at pooch kicking, and he's standing back there right now.
He needs a big one here.
50% of the time, he's nailed it inside the 20 this year. Now, this is offside of his foot. Not going to be proud of this one. It does take a bit of a Michigan bounce and will go out of bounds at around the 24. 16 yards in the punt. Well, this Saturday, ESPN is a college basketball triple-header. Take a look at this one. 12:30, Arkansas Little Rock is at New Orleans. And at 8 o'clock, number 11, North Carolina at number 2, Wake Forest. Followed at 10 by number 1, KU at Kansas State. Saturday on ESPN. Who will be at that game in Manhattan Saturday night, Michael? You ought to come along, put on your basketball hat.
Little Apple, right? Little Big Apple. Manhattan, Kansas.
Manhattan, Kansas.
We got a big game today, Kansas State.
Alexander turns the corner. Hang on, and he ran into his own man. Taylor makes the tackle, but his forward progress was actually stopped by his blocker, and it's the same kind of run he had at, what, 2 over 70 yards for a touchdown against LSU.
Yeah, Ron, and you really have to look at, we talked about the unsettling effect of the coaching staff, and give credit to Woody McCorvey, the offensive coordinator, who doesn't know whether he's still going to be coaching at Alabama or not, or move to another position. And Jim Fuller, he's been a offensive line coach under 3 head coaches at Alabama, and his offensive line did a nice job there.
On the first down, Alexander going to be stopped for a yard loss. It's Glenn Steele, who has had a very good ball game today for the Michigan Wolverines as well. So it's going to be a second down and long. But the clock here, Michigan desperately needs to stop them on this series, because a first down, Mike, would take it down between 1 and 2, or even inside of 1 minute, where they might see the ball again unless they use one of their 2 timeouts left.
Yeah, in Alabama right now, Freddie Kitchens wants to use as much of the clock as he can before he runs this play.
I know this gentleman here says, I don't want to be the thing, it's the team and the program, but I know how badly he wants to win this final game today. Unbelievably large, that desire. Draw play, Sean Alexander, 5, 10, 15, he's off, and tackled just across midfield, and that was a huge nail in the coffin as far as Alabama is concerned.
Yeah, without a doubt, now you get past the 50-yard line. And you talked about it earlier, but when you have the depth of Alabama, Dennis Riddle, you got Curtis Alexander, all of a sudden now you bring Sean Alexander in, and he's fresh. Everybody else is tired on the other side. Charles Woodson finally makes the tackle.
291 yards against LSU. That was a single game mark in the history of Alabama football. Scored 4 touchdowns, had runs of 73 and 72 yards in that game. This time he's going to be hit in the backfield, breaks off the tackle, though, and will wind up with maybe 1 as William Carr will stop him.
And he spoke at a coaches clinic last year in Alabama at the university, and he said, my 2 goals, Sean Alexander, is to be an All-American and a Heisman Trophy winner at Alabama. So he was recruited by Michigan, but chose to go to Alabama instead.
Michigan has just taken a timeout. We'll take it with them. 2:25 left in our game. 18 career at Tuscaloosa. Yesterday, a special time for him, because he's going to be able to spend more time with his son, John Mark. And John Mark loves his football program, is constantly around when he can. And in fact, Gene buttoned up his collar and had him sit with the team for the team photo that was taken yesterday. And I asked him after that where John Mark had gone, and he said he's down in the training room. He likes to put ice packs on people after they've worked out. That's a special relationship between those two, which Gene will be, as I said, able to spend a lot more time with John Mark now that he's retiring. Moving off to Paris, Texas. Vaughn in motion, top of your screen. Got a draw play, Sean Alexander. Got more speed than you think, and Michigan just found out. He will score. .46 yards. And there finally is the smile. Eugene is going to win his 70th. There's John Mark and the family upstairs. Mike, this young fellow right here, you watch him running, you think, like I said, you think he's not moving that quickly, and all of a sudden, whoosh, he's by you.
Well, I think, again, credit Woody McCorvey, the offensive coordinator, Gene Stallings. They have been able to substitute perfectly in their running back situations to have a fresh running back here in the second half.
Sean Alexander has come in 8 carries, and now with a total of 99 yards and a touchdown. One more look at the touchdown. You see him cut to the outside. Irons did not guess his speed properly, and there he goes. 46 yards, and he'll score the touchdown.
And a good block by Shamari Buchanan, number 84. It really springs him on Charles Woodson.
Mike, when you look around in the Southeastern Conference and think Riddle is back, Curtis Alexander is back, Sean Alexander is back,
tells me one thing, there won't be any tailbacks going to Alabama.
Boy, they got a stable of them, I'm telling you. They got a stable of them. The biggest thing is you look at the outgoing head coach and the incoming head coach at Alabama. What this means to Gene Stallings today is this will be his 70th win at Alabama. That's an average of 10 per year. Even the famed Bear Bryant did not average 10 victories a year, and that's got to be something that Gene will take with him as a very special thing.
This is not an emergency announcement. It is a test of the Marcus Cable Television Emergency Alert System for this.
Just gorgeous day. It's been a great week down here in Tampa. These folks do a sensational job for the teams, for the schools, and I know both teams have had a great time.
Very well run bowl game, and Ron, Alabama did tonight or today what they've done all year. Played to their defense. Defense responded, then they won it with the running game. Five possessions by that Michigan offense, and that's when the Alabama defense came up strong. 2 field goals, and that's been the difference. You go back to Staten's play where he ran down Clarence Williams and just wouldn't allow them to get in the end zone.
You know, that play still may be as big a play as Rudd made with the interception and returning it. The play by Staten still may be the biggest thing that happened in this ballgame as far as maintaining momentum for Alabama. Gracie forced out of the pocket, back over the middle, and almost intercepted. And the clock will stop at 2:04. Sigler, the closest man to it.
This performance by Michael Myers today against Michigan's offense has been something short of spectacular, phenomenal. Michael Myers has been in the backfield of this Michigan offense the whole ball game. 96, coming on an inside move. He forces Brian Greasy out to the left side, and then the hit on the outside by Kelvin Moore.
On the near sideline, and again it's Woodson. Fernando Bryant will push him out of bounds, and that'll move the chains for Michigan. 2 minutes exactly left in this one. Mike gives me time with 2 minutes left. Want to thank this entire football family that gather every Saturday night for prime time for just an outstanding job this season. Efforts of our production and our technical crew, both here and up in Bristol, have been wonderful, and they all do a great job and make it possible for us. Hard work, and it's also a passion that makes them the very best in the business, we think. We say congratulations, guys. It was a sensational year, and Happy New Year to you. Right on there, Joe Vanderbilt. So the clock stops 1:54. Michigan will go shotgun. Alabama rushes for the pass. Incomplete. Tried to get it out to Clarence Williams.
Tough loss for Michigan here, Ron, because they had the ball game well in hand. They were ahead of field goal. They were dominating the football game. Then they had the interception. And that game just broke their back on that play.
And you know what Brian's got to be saying to himself? He is such a competitor, and you can never fault a kid for being a competitor. But just thinking, I was up in the air and let the ball go. If I had that one move to do over again, I would have eaten it, would have kicked the field goal, and you know, could have had a totally different result.
You're always trying to make plays, though. And the end result is Michigan didn't do a very good job of handling the blitz on third down by Alabama.
Gracie goes out of bounds at around the 43. With this Alabama football team, we have seen them now a number of times this year. And just as I said back in the third quarter, as Gene had said to the media, if you want us to be a pretty team and lose, and you got the wrong guy here. And they do win some ball games that, you know, they may not be pretty dancers, but they dance every dance.
Well, no, and there's some interesting statistics as far as comeback wins. I think they've had 30 comeback wins since 1990.
Gets it across. That's Shea, the tight end. Staten will bump him out of bounds. You see Staten trying to say, keep the clock running.
Ron, since 1990, they've had 24 comeback wins. So that means they're playing everything close to the defense. 13 comeback wins the last 2 seasons, make it 14 today with this win over Michigan. So they play a game where you're always going to be in the ball game, and you got to win it in the fourth quarter on defense and special teams and running the football. And that's exactly the map they use today.
Sounds like an oversimplification, but you have to know how to win, and that's one of the things that they have done at Tuscaloosa for a long time. Deep over the middle, Clarence Williams wide open. It'll be 1st and goal. Michigan at the 9-yard line as Short made the tackle.
Ball thrown well again by Brian Williams. Brian Greasy got 4 wide receivers down the field. Andre Short versus the tailback Clarence Williams. Clarence Williams makes that catch, and Brian Greasy saying don't count this one in the bank just yet.
Clock whistled back in. 127, now 126. 41 yards in the pass play. Greasy gets it out in the flat. That's Shaw at the 5. He will score. All those people out in the parking lot, come on back.
Yeah, sometimes you can put the bats away too soon and put in the ball bag, and there's still 1:16 on the clock with a onside kick coming.
You see Mike DuBose wanting to call a timeout.
He knows he's going to face a 2-point play, so he wants to get the right personnel on the field.
So let's take a break. 1:16 left in our ball game. 17-12.
Let's go. I was looking for an onion, a really big onion.
Still alive, still breathing.
2-point conversion coming here, and here comes the blitz, and Greasy's pass incomplete. And now here comes a late flag. Michael Fagan is the man who was covering on Russell Shaw. By the way, the day for Clarence Williams, 10 rushes, 55 yards. And Williams 5 catches for 112.
The reason this is so big is if you get the onside kick, then all you have to work is to a field goal with the new rule of overtime. So now a little closer to try to get that 2-point play.
Come on, guys, come on now.
So Michigan gets a second shot at it. And here comes the running play, and Floyd will take it in. 17-14.
Well, it's nervous stomach time now for both coaches because it comes down to one defined onside kick. It's a touchdown. Brian Greasy with the throw. Good move on the outside by Russell Shaw. After making the catch, a little move on Michael Fagan in the end zone. Then the penalty on Alabama moved the ball a little closer. And Michigan sets up this onside kick.
The numbers on Greasy today. 21 of 37, 287 yards, 1 touchdown. And the interception by Dwayne Rudd, 88 yards, returned for a touchdown for the Crimson Tide.
Ron, he's played great. I think he's played very, very well on that side of the ball under the pressure that he was under today with the rush and blitzes of Alabama.
So the Good Hands team coming out here. We got 1:16 showing on the clock. Got it at the 42-yard line.
Remember, he had the problem on the catch on the punt that he
at the 1-yard line.
the ball on the 1-yard line, so he made up for it. Gene's going to hug him now.
Yeah, Gene, a little smile on his face. He did better that time, son.
There's the onside kick. It's exactly what you want. The big bounce. Chad Goss is sitting there and makes that catch and get out of the doghouse.
Boy, and Ty Street was right there getting ready to pounce on that thing. One timeout left for the Wolverines. Kitchens goes down maybe a half yard on the play. So timeout, the last one used by Michigan. Will take it with them. 67 seconds left in this one. Michigan burned their final timeout of the ball game. They trail by 3, 17-14. Jared Irons, what a great career he has had up in Ann Arbor. Almost left, got homesick. He said much as anything, it was not his dad, it was his mom. As movement in the middle, and Carr jumps across, tries to recover the football before it was snapped.
Hey, Ron, he talked about that. He said his dad kind of agreed with him if he was homesick to maybe think about it, but his mom said, no, God's got a plan for your life, and it's in Michigan.
Defense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
So he said, you know, Mom is one of those that, you know, we don't stop anything with that we've started. So he decided to stick it out. It's obviously the best thing that could have happened to him. He's had a great career, has gotten his undergraduate degree, and is working sports marketing is what he got his degree in. Working on his master's now. Steele makes the tackle as he goes down, and now Michigan cannot stop this clock. It goes under 1 minute. Miss Stallings sitting high up. She's going to wave to us. I think she is probably more excited than any of them about getting to Paris, Texas, and in that new home, which was completed last year.
The wives suffer, boy, in the ball games because there's not much they can do other than cheer up there. And great love for her husband, and suffers through every ball game, whether it's a win or loss.
John Mark waving. This win will be huge to him. Down on one knee, and that should be the final play of the 1997 Outback Bowl here in Tampa. 16 down to 15. Gene got a partial bath. And they're going to give him a walk-off. So that's the end of the ball game. Gene Stallings wins his 70th game as the head coach at the University of Alabama. Final score 17-14.
It's a great way to go out as a coach. A lot of coaches don't get to pick the way they want to go out. Gene Stallings did.
Dwayne Rudd has been named the player of the game in this one, and for obvious reasons on the interception and the 88-yard return. It stands as the largest play, certainly for Alabama, the second.